Imagine going to your doctor for your yearly checkup and she tells you that your uterus is the size of a 14-week pregnancy and she thinks you have a tumor in it. That's exactly what happened to me. This has been a 3-year journey for me. I've been in 2 states, had 3 different doctors, all to deal with this one fibroid. I first discovered I had a fibroid when I lived in Raleigh, North Carolina. I went for my yearly doctor's appointment and I was slightly anemic, and she did my exam and, as I mentioned, said my uterus was the size of a 14-week pregnancy. I didn't know what to think about that. I wasn't pregnant. So she told me she wanted to send me for an ultrasound to see what was going on. After that ultrasound, she called me with the results and she told me I have a fibroid. I had no idea what a fibroid was. So of course, like most people, I grabbed my computer and I Google it, and I learned that a fibroid is a tumor that grows inside of a woman's uterus. Totally freaked me out. So she also told me that they can range in a lot of different sizes, from the size of a tiny seed to the size of a melon. My fibroid was 7 centimeters, which is pretty big. It is the size of this Mac compact. So I have something this size growing inside of my uterus right now. I didn't really know what to think, so I asked her what this all meant. What were my options? Do I have to get it removed? Does it go away? I had no idea. She said there is the surgery option, but since I wasn't actively trying to get pregnant, or I haven't tried to get pregnant and had difficulties, she said to just monitor it for now. And they would check me again in a year when I get my next appointment. A year goes by before I know it. I get another ultrasound and she tells me my fibroid is still 7 centimeters, which is good news. It has not grown. It's still 7 centimeters. But then she really started asking me if I did want to have children, because again, I'm in my mid-30s. I need to start thinking about that. I was about to move out of state for a new job. So at that time, I wasn't thinking about children. I was getting ready for a move. So I kind of just pushed this to the side. You know, life gets in the way, work gets in the way, so many things happen and just get in the way. And a lot of us just push our health to the back burner, which I was doing. So I moved to Houston and I didn't want to start a new job and be like, hey, it's my first day, I might need surgery and need to take 6 weeks off work, because that's how much time they told me, my doctor in Raleigh told me the recovery would be if I did in fact have to get surgery for this. So I blink and another year goes by. It's time to get my yearly doctor appointment. Schedule my appointment with my new doctor here, and I told her going into it, I did have a fibroid, I knew about it, and could she just check it and see if it grew, see what my options were now at this point. It's been a few years. I got an ultrasound here and she told me my fibroid is still 7 centimeters, but if I do want to have children, I really need to start thinking about getting it removed. So I went home after that appointment and really thought about it. And I figured it's time. I've been dealing with this thing for about 3 years now. It's really time to take my health and put it in front, put it first. I needed to really do this for myself. So I asked her the different options about surgeries, and she told me she recommended that I get an open myomectomy, which is basically they're giving me a C-section and removing the fibroid, because my fibroid is so big that she wanted to make sure she could get it all out and preserve my uterus. So if I did want to have children, it would be the best option. After telling me her recommendations, my doctor, of course, said you can talk with other doctors and see their opinions or their recommendations on what you should do with this. I've been dealing with this for a few years now, so I've pretty much heard the same thing from each doctor I've spoken to about it. So I finally decided to put my health first and get it done. I'm going to get this fibroid removed. I'm going to be getting the open myomectomy in just a few days. It's my first surgery. I've never had any major health problems, never been in the hospital. So I'm, kind of nervous. I have a lot of feelings about it. And on top of getting this surgery, I'm getting it during the COVID-19 pandemic. So that has a lot of other challenges on top of it. I have to, take extra precautions. The hospitals are taking extra precautions. So it's going to be an experience. Today's the day for my pre-op appointment for my surgery. It's a really gloomy day here in Houston, as you can see outside. It's been raining all morning. I'm kind of anxious because it's real now. I'm really getting this. I've been putting this surgery off for about 3 years now. I'm gonna go get all my questions answered. And we do have COVID-19 going, so you do have to wear a mask in the hospital, and I do have to get a COVID test. So I just finished my pre-surgery appointment, and it was kind of what I expected. I first met with my doctor and she went over what the procedure she's going to be doing. Then I had to go across the street to do the real pre-surgery screening. So they had to take blood for blood work. I had to meet with the people, with the anesthesiologist, and I signed a ton of papers. I feel like most of my afternoon was signing papers and consent forms. They also gave me this to drink, which is an Ensure pre-surgery drink. It's a clear carbohydrate drink. I'm a little nervous. My doctor said that's normal to be nervous, but she's done these procedures so many times. She actually showed me pictures of a person she did the procedure on a few weeks ago. So I actually got to see what it looks like. And it's kind of gross, but it did make me feel better. It's been a kind of a eventful few days. The governor here in Texas just announced that they're halting all elective surgeries because of the spike in coronavirus cases in Texas. Those surgeries are halted in 4 counties, including Harris County, which is where Houston is. So, that was kind of concerning, but my doctor said my surgery is still good to go as of right now. At first, I was kind of nervous, about just getting the surgery in general. Then I was nervous that they were going to postpone it because of this. But as of right now, my surgery is still scheduled to go, but I do have to go inside and get my COVID test. It was pretty much what I expected. I got the nose swab. So you tilt your head back, they stick the Q-tip down there, swab it. They said it would be about 10 seconds. It burned a little bit. The nurse told me it would burn a little bit, but then right when they pulled it out, my eyes were watering, my nose was running. So that is all done now. I just have to wait for that. I had to sign a paper saying that I would pretty much isolate for 3 days until my surgery after this test. And one thing that was different when I went in today, they give you masks. You cannot wear outside homemade masks in the hospital anymore. So that's a new safety precaution they're taking now that I guess the COVID cases are spiking here in Houston. So they just changed the rules now, and because of COVID-19, I cannot have anyone with me. So we just found out I have to be completely alone before surgery and then even when I'm done. It's about 3 hours now after my surgery. I, got here about 5:30 in the morning, signed some papers, got my little fancy wristbands, and then I came up to wait in the, pre-surgery room. Hung out for a little bit, and then all of my doctor came in, the other nurses who were going to be in the room with her came and talked to me, asked if I had any questions. Got my anesthesia. It knocked me right out. I was getting kind of nervous leading up to it, and then they gave me something in my IV that chilled me out, and all I remember is going to the operating room, getting on the table, and then I was out. I remember nothing. But then when I woke up, I was just really cold. So they were putting heating pads on me. But other than that, I don't feel terrible. I got up and walked around for a second, and I could feel I just had something done. Like, I have the bikini incision. I could kind of feel it, but I think the meds are doing their job because I don't feel awful right now, which I'm very thankful for. And my doctor said I could have some solid food because I didn't really eat anything yesterday because I was supposed to be on a liquid diet. So I just ordered a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. See how that goes. But yeah, it's out. And it's bigger than she thought. The ultrasound showed it at 7 centimeters, and it's actually 8 centimeters. So just seeing it, she gave me pictures. just seeing it, it's kind of crazy thinking that was inside of me for so long. Also, for anyone thinking about having this procedure done, just do it. I put it off for 3 years and I'm so glad I just finally did it. We'll see in a few days how I'm feeling once I'm back home and, you know, the heavy pain meds wear off. But again, just do it. You have to put your health first.